Ravens Wrap is brought to you by Bud Light, FlyLady.net, Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Ravens247.com, the original Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome back into the Ravens Rock Show here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens, 93.5 The Beach. The Ravens and Browns coming up this Saturday. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody out there from all of us here at, the Ravens Wrap Show. And, of course, Ravensers 44.
44!
Yeah.
Mike, is it Merry Christmas because we get to play the Browns this week?
You can look at it that way.
That's a present for the Ravens.
Yeah, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be the Browns having to play us at home coming off that kind of loss. That's for sure. And they just got to be thinking, you got to be kidding me.
But they have the great Seneca Wallace.
Yeah, Seneca Wallace, right, taking over for.
I just say we make sure Ray Rice, since he had a break, he had a week off this week, that maybe he
rush him the entire game. Every play, Ray Rice.
You know, they opened up the second half with him on the sideline.
24-7. Ray Rice isn't on the field.
Well, guys,
Ricky Williams dropped, almost tips the ball up in the air, dropped intercept.
Jammer went right through his hands.
And we talked a lot through the first couple of segments about the.
When are we going to talk about Joe Flacco?
I've had enough of Joe.
Yeah. We talked a lot about the offense and Joe Flacco. And look, the running game was there, but because we had to get one dimension, we had to throw the football. They got after us with 4 players. I've got some really interesting stats though from ESPN on the defense. Okay, here's one of them. Phil Rivers completed 75% of his passes on throws more than 10 yards downfield against the Ravens, an ongoing trend during San Diego's 3-game winning streak. That's pretty big because obviously the further you get down the field, the lesser a percentage throw it is. A couple others. The Chargers faced the Ravens' nickel and dime defenses, so that's 5-6 defensive backs on 35% of the plays, and San Diego averaged 12.9 yards per play. That's 8 more than what the Ravens have given up in that defense all year. The Chargers converted 5 rushes into 3 touchdowns in goal-to-go situations. That's the most touchdowns that the Ravens have given up in a single game over the last 4 seasons in that situation. Also, 8 of the 23 pass attempts for Rivers came against a blitz, but Rivers completed 7 of 8 for 139 yards against them. So, it was a situation where no matter what we did, they absolutely took it to the defense. And
I was sitting next to the punter for the San Diego Chargers the entire game.
Right.
He was having a beer and smoking a cigar.
I bet, yeah. Did he ever see the field? I don't.
In fact, he had 2 SK dogs.
Like Mark Sanchez did after that win against the Raiders.
With everything on it.
Yeah.
And he didn't even have to worry about getting any of the stuff on his uniform.
Bruce, let me ask you this. Bruce, let me ask you this. Now, I come from an offensive background. You're a defensive background. We faced Matt Hasselbeck week 2. We saw that, he got rid of the ball quick. It negated our rush, our defense. Mm-hmm. Okay. When you blitz, though, and your quarterback's adept at getting rid of the ball quickly, do you not play more press coverage on those receivers and bump and run?
Absolutely.
You can't give him a cushion because you're playing right into what he does best. You've got to at least try to knock him off their mark and take your chances with it. I don't understand why the Ravens, for a second time against that type of quarterback, didn't bump and run more because he was getting rid of the ball quickly.
And again, I don't understand that. And what you don't want to give a thoroughbred is the feeling that they're looking at the same exact thing over and over again. You want to press. You want to get in their face and then maybe not show, and then maybe not be there by the time the ball snaps. Be back again and then come back. You want to give different looks. Now, it's very difficult for young players to be thinking in that regard because remember, a young player is down, distance, personnel, what's the coverage? Once you become a pro, it's not down, distance, personnel. You already know that. You know that as soon as you're up off the ground and you see someone come in and you know where they are. Then you look, as a pro goes, personnel sets, where they line up, what do I want to do? What do I need to do here? What do they like to do to me? And then play.
Well, and here's the other part of that. If the blitz is getting picked up and we're getting torched deep, then it's almost a natural reaction, and Ed Reed's out of position. So if you're pressing coverage and the guy gets behind you, and Ed Reed's, like Tony's been saying the whole night here, Ed Reed is in front of your corner.
In front of your corner.
I mean, that's not how safeties play. Is that safety?
Not supposed to be last time.
Change his position to hazard.
So, yeah, but
he's the red snake on the golf course.
But we need to get pressure up the gut. This is another thing. I've been talking about Haloti Ngata for a couple of years, and soon, maybe 2 years from now, you'll be on board with my analysis of Haloti. I've compared him to Shaquille O'Neal forever because he shows up when he wants to. He's a physical specimen that should never be dominated, and he's getting blocked man to man and on skates. You called their offensive line terrible last week, and here Haloti Ngata.
No, going terrible, but I thought we could do.
Well, they had all those injuries.
He's going backwards.
John,
going backwards. If you watch the game,
John, we're back to the point. Why were the San Diego Chargers able to rush 4 and 3 one time, on a Hail Mary pass and get a sack? Why could not our 5 block 4?
Well, did you see?
Well, and then conversely, why can't we get after? I mean, Terrell Suggs was non-existent.
And then why can't we get after with a 4-man rush?
Jared Davis is pretty terrible. That's all I have to say.
Well, I don't know if you noticed Brian McKinney on that Hail Mary, 3 rushers. Antoine Barnes
just smoked him wide.
He looked like he was doing the hokey pokey. He was spinning around in circles and everything, but then Collinsworth, I think just before that, was talking about. I'm getting cut off here.
4, 3, 5.
For the Ravens, I'm sure we'll continue this conversation.
JC Tickets provides first-class trips to Ravens road games, including airfare, 4-star hotels, game tickets, and cocktail parties. We also help provide great seating locations to all Ravens home games. JC Tickets, where the games begin. Visit us at jctickets.net.
G&G Outfitters, Inc. is a premier full-service in-house provider of branded merchandise and marketing solutions. With over 20 years of proven experience, G&G continues to successfully produce branded merchandise for some of the world's leading corporations, associations, and teams. From start to finish, G&G Outfitters is your single-source, one-stop partner for promotional products, logoed apparel, and all of your branded needs. For more info on the services and capabilities of G&G, visit ggoutfitters.com or call 301-731-2282.
What's going on?
We're giving Matt the NFL experience of a high-pressure field goal.
Look out! It's terrible, man!
There's an easier way to get an ultimate NFL fan experience. Just snap the tag wherever Bud Light is sold and you can win. Bud Light in the NFL. Here we go.
Hey, it gets easier. Really? No.
Are you embarrassed to invite people to your home to watch your favorite football team? Well, don't worry, because you're not alone. FlyLady.net is the support you need. Join us and our more than 600,000 members and learn how to crush the clutter and game plan your way through routines that'll help you organize your home and your life. Tackle clutter and get your home game day ready with FlyLady.net.
JC Tickets provides first-class trips to Ravens road games, including airfare, 4-star hotels, game tickets, and cocktail parties. We also help provide great seating locations to all Ravens home games. JC Tickets, where the games begin. Visit us at jctickets.net.
Welcome back. It is the Ravens Wrap Show here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, 93.5 The Beach, the original Green Total Ravens Wrap Show. I want to thank our sponsors of the Blue Ox, Bud Light, FlyLady.net, the Ocean City Golf Club, G&G Outfitters, Ravens247.com, the Comfort Inn Gold Coast, and jctickets.net. Mike Bradley, Bruce Laird, Tony Lombardi, and John Garrick. We're still kind of hashing out this, 34-14 loss to the San Diego Chargers. There's just so much to talk about in this game. And I guess one of the things, guys, that gets me with our defense is that, and Tony, I know I brought this up in years past, in your reply, partly, which correctly, and I don't disagree with it, is, well, I'd like to see what other teams' defenses, other good defenses, what their record is against a Tom Brady and a Phillip Rivers. May not be that good either, but I have to say over the last couple of years, I'm less and less confident, even as good as our defense has played, less and less confident when they do play against the good, the good quarterbacks. And I know there's more of it than just the quarterback. I mean, Rivers, as we mentioned, has got a lot of weapons. And so, it's a yeoman's task going in. But I don't have the confidence that I thought maybe I had 10 years ago in some of the defenses, or I should say 5 to 8 years ago. I just don't have that in the last couple of years with it. I don't.
Well, they've been in the past, in the Ravens' history, they've been a quarterback nightmare. Their quarterback rating, I would think if you look back over the past 5 years or so, probably amongst the best in the league, if not the best. But when you got a guy like Rivers and you give him time, and then you put yourself in man situations, he's just going to pick that apart. And as you said earlier, if you're not in that press coverage and you're giving them those, they invited that success. But to your point about all quarterbacks, I don't know that I really see that because I think they do a really nice job against Tom Brady, and I think they do a nice job against Ben Roethlisberger, really.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
You see, I'm going to go back to what I know, and that's the intricate part of week preparation. This week against the Chargers, the secondary was put on the spot from day one. Whether you came in to get treatment on Tuesday or your first day was Wednesday, you know that as a player. When I played the San Diego Chargers of the 80s, when I was not part of their team, you know that you had to face Joyner, Kellen Winslow. You knew as a unit, you had to come with your A game. Every single one of us had to play better than we're capable of playing week in, week out. And that's what was happening to Jimmy Smith, knowing that Webb was down, and Chuck Pagano and this coaching staff, they're good enough to do that. Now, what happens when the rest of the body doesn't understand what the mind's telling it? And that's really just what happened here. Whether it's a strange day for the defense or an anomaly, whatever you want to call it, that entity, that secondary and linebackers, did not come to play football the way it had to against Phillip Rivers and that type of power. It just didn't. I don't care why you want to spin it. They knew going in, not like on Saturday. They knew on Monday or Tuesday what they needed to do all week, and they couldn't do it.
They did stop Antonio Gates for the most part, so I guess that's good.
So that's one.
They stopped 1 of 8 or 7 or 6. Yeah.
Well, sometimes when a guy's in the zone and he's got those big targets, I don't think the coverage was that bad. It's just the mismatches were there, and he trusted his receivers, will throw to his spot, unlike our quarterback, and that's where you get the success.
On the double move, Rivers threw the ball as soon as he made that the go. As soon as the receiver went, just
got out of the break.
His numbers where he made the stop route, and before he was covered. I'm stuttering here, but he was covered. The ball was in the air. He ran under it, and big play.
And I made the comment last week. Now, I think Bobby Vermillion disagreed with me. And I know he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, but I put Phillip Rivers in the elite category. I realize he hasn't won that, but when he's on his game, and we saw that, he is a damn good quarterback. And if you don't want to put him with Brady and Manning and Rodgers, fine. He's just a tick below that without a Super Bowl. He made the most of it. Let's look at it, folks. He had 23 throws, 17 completions. It's not like he went 40 of 50 or 35 of 50. He was 17 of 23. He made the most of them, but it's a damn good quarterback that we played.
They jacked over 400 yards of total offense against this Raven defense.
Yeah, 415 to 200.
Third, whatever. And again, it goes back and we had this conversation weeks and weeks ago when things were going pretty well. It was leaking out. Is this the 2000 defense? Is this the 2000 defense? Are these guys this good? Haloti is this good? 2000 defense, ladies and gentlemen, gave up 167 points.
And won a Super Bowl.
167 points. We were at 202 going before we even played the San Diego Chargers. 167 points. I'm coming out of retirement. I'm putting on my Speedo. I'm getting Jim Palmer to help me. And I'm going to play 25 yards deep with Ed Reed.
That's
Isn't that scary?
To think about.
Isn't that scary?
Well, the scary
part is Speedo. Yeah, that's more scary. 30 seconds, John. You always get that.
Think about it, John. Not the Speedo.
He's got that mental image going on right now. So it's got him all fluttered.
Well, while you think about that, we'll go to break, John. Enjoy that mental.
He doesn't want to think about that.
More of the Ravens Wrap Show coming up. Comcast Speech TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio 93.5 The Beach. We'll be back.
Ravens Wrap is brought to you by Bud Light, FlyLady.net, Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Ravens247.com, the original Green Turtle Sports Bar and Grill, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.